Today I want to take a look at a new feature in CheckCherry that we're calling extra categories. So CheckCherry has long supported packages, which are a great way to present different options to your customer. We also support, of course, add-ons, which are great for upselling and giving your customer different options. And then we also already have support for backdrops in your account. And so kind of the difference between an add-on is that a customer might choose no add-ons, or they might choose multiple add-ons, whereas with backdrops, they're going to choose just one backdrop for their event. So requests we've had from time to time is that, this works well for a lot of people, but occasionally somebody has something else that they'd like to, make kind of a required item, or, kind of force the customer to pick from, pick an option rather than just using the add-ons and backdrops. And so that's where our new feature called extra categories comes in. So to enable an extra category, you can go to Manage, Booking Engine, and you'll find this extra categories section here. And so the example we're going to use today is to look at props. Say you want to, certain packages include a prop selection. What you can do is create a new category. We'll call it props. Hit save, and you'll see we have a kind of an example put in here. If I go back to my Manage menu, I now have packages, add-ons, backdrops, and this new item, props. So worth mentioning that any new extra categories you create will show up here in this, underneath the backdrops and add-ons. We don't think of, extra categories. It's not something that you would typically have many of. Typically, you would only have, maybe one or maybe a couple in your account. You generally wouldn't be adding a lot of these. So now that I've got this, I can rename the group if I want. Maybe we just want to call this standard props, and you can duplicate that if you need to as well. And then let's go ahead and change this example prop. Instead of example, we're going to call this prop set number 1, and you can put a description there. You can set a price there, or leave it at 0 if you don't charge. And then you can set a max quantity. So this will let you, if you want to allow them to choose more than one, they can do that. There are also some more advanced options, kind of similar to add-on backdrops there. So next, let's take a look at let's upload an image. We'll call this props number 1, and we'll save. And so now we've got our prop set number 1. Let's go ahead and make a couple of these. We're going to choose a different image here. We'll call this props number 2. And we'll make one more for number 3. And now we've got a few options for the customer to choose from. So how does this work for, how do we let our customers choose this? Well, if you go to one of your packages or add-ons, but let's start with the package. If I go into one of my booths now, maybe the signature spin includes one of these, a prop option. So let's go to the package, let's go to the advanced settings. And now underneath the backdrops and add-on settings, we have this new item, our props supported with this package. And so in the same way that you can turn on backdrops or turn off backdrops with the package, you can now do that with props as well. And then the other thing you can decide is like, okay, yes, I want them to do it, but is it work kind of like add-ons where they can add an arbitrary number, or is it more like backdrops where they can only choose 1 or choose 2 or something like that? And you can optionally let them skip this step. Some people like to allow, maybe it's something that's required, but you're not going to force them to do it. You'll give them the skip option. And now when the customer goes to check out, if they choose this signature spin option, they'll still have the option to choose from their add-ons. They'll still have a backdrop step. And then now they have this new step in the booking process called props. And so I can see the 3 prop options. There's no charge on these, so I can choose this. And because I was only allowed to choose one, it's going to advance me to the next step. And they can continue the checkout process from there. This will also apply to proposals as well. So if I come in and create a proposal, and I use this signature spin package, I'm not going to see it on this step, but once the proposal has been created, now I'll have props listed here along with add-ons and backdrops. You can also, some people like to associate this with an add-on. So maybe you have a, maybe props or prints or something like that. It's something you want your customers to choose, but it's linked to an add-on instead. You can also do that. So if I go to Manage, Add-ons, pick one of my, let's create a new one here. We'll call it Premium Props. And what I can say is, are props supported with this add-on? Yes, and I can go in and set the number as well. And now that'll only show up if somebody adds this add-on to their shopping cart. Going back to our proposal, you can also manually add these items as well on a proposal. So if I come in to manage bookings, I edit the settings. I've got this new section down here called extra categories, and I can add something else if needed or remove. So the way the extra categories work is when a new booking comes in, we're going to assign the extra category settings that apply to that package and add-on. But you can always modify it after the fact. And whatever you choose will show up here as an option. And coming back to our extra categories now, let's take another look. So you'll notice you can only have a limited number of extra categories. It's not something that, it's going to get messy if you have a lot of them. So depending on your plan, it's capped to anywhere from 2 on our lowest plan to 6 on the highest plan. If you do have multiple categories, they're always going to show under your add-ons and backdrops, but you can sort things. You can change the sort order if you need to. And there are also, if you decide to rename them or edit additional settings that might come in the future, you can do that as well. And so that's a quick overview of the new extra categories features. We're going to have some more functionality coming out soon on these, but we wanted to get this out and into your hands to play with. Let us know any feedback. We appreciate it. Thanks so much.